Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to JAHAN-E, your own channel. And once again, I'm here with a fresh episode of Memories 2021 Meet Aspirations 2022. And today we have a business coach and consultant and a leadership trainer, Mr. Nara Subramanium from Malaysia. I welcome Mr. Nara to the show. Hello, Mr. Nara, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you so much, Dr. Halima. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And JAHAN-E is honored with your presence.
My pleasure. It's indeed my pleasure to be actually with you today. Thank you.
So, Mr. Nara, 2022 is going to bring, I hope, and I have crossed my finger, is going to bring lots of new hopes, new dreams, new aspirations, new beginnings. But at the same time, we should not forget what was there in 2021 for all of us.
Yes, true.
So, how was 2021 for Mr. Nara Subramaniam?
Well, thank you, Dr. Halima, and warm welcome to everyone. Yes, 2021 I think was perhaps one of the most challenging years for many people around the globe, and indeed for the average person, the businessman, whether it's big or small. And I think the same thing for me as well, as an individual, as a family. I believe it was one of the most challenging from the perspective of health, wellness, economy, and so many new challenges which people may not have faced in their lifetime. So, and of course, it was as a result of the challenges, we also learned a lot. We also found ways and means to cope as well as to overcome.
That's really good to know. And it's great that you have learned many things that you mentioned, that out of challenges, we are forced to learn new things. We have to find the new ways, new avenues. So I'm very keen to know what Mr. Nara has found during 2021.
Okay. I found that, one of the things which I wanted to show you perhaps was to just to go back a little bit on about myself and to explain a little bit about what are the issues that that we were able to face or overcome. And is it okay? I'll just very quickly share you a little bit about.
Yeah, sure. I'll be very happy to see the visuals.
Sure. I just thought I wanted to share a little bit about me, and then to explain about how we found ways and means to overcome, and what is it that perhaps everybody should consider, and how to develop on our strengths. So this is a little bit about me. I try to just keep it simple, but as a finance person, I started up my own business consulting after being with some of the largest companies in the world over the last 30 to 40 years. And I found that the best way for me in future was to help the new generation. And so I started up my own business consulting. It's called Resolve Asia. We provide services in Malaysia as well as around Asia. And the biggest contribution that we could actually give was to individuals, but not only as individuals, because individuals are supporting their own environment. So now we provide unique financial as well as business solutions for entrepreneurs. And I look at it as how do we connect the dots. So just to give you a quick picture of my background, and I always felt that I need to surround myself with others who can make me a better person. And not only for me, but then how do I contribute? Because beyond input, we need to go into output. But this was just to give you a very quick snapshot of my background over the last 40 over years. But although it was primarily around finance, I found that the most important way is to support everyone so that they can improve their competencies. I think that is the main thing. It's not just only one particular function, but around them there are so many other things that they need to grow. I was fortunate, of course, because I had a multicultural experience and a lot of opportunities to travel, I met some very good people. But what is it about meeting good people? It is about learning something from them, walking away from them with a little bit of their mindset, of their approach, and of their way of overcoming challenges. So this was me with Robin Sharma a few years ago. I helped others as well, even though they are big leaders today. Along the way, I believe I also contributed in their own journey to learn. So this was a very fine gentleman, Ate Kamazi, and today he is the creator of the colored brain philosophy. And of course, for me, one of my biggest gurus was Jack Canfield, the time that I spent with him, and brought him to Malaysia, and we had wonderful programs which we had conducted. All this was on self-esteem. So during our various times of our day, as well as not only our week or month or years, we sometimes have our ups and downs. So one of the things which I learned from Jack Canfield and which I teach people is about being at a peak of your self-esteem. There will be peaks and highs and lows. Find your way to get back up. So this is one of my biggest gurus, and I had a very wonderful experience with him, with my family and my organization. So this was my wife and children and daughter. And what happened when we brought this program, we were able to also learn how to do things. So what I learned from this was there were many challenges we had to do, we had to overcome, but each of them was a learning. So in a way, when I talk about this, there's a lot of pride for me and my family. But what I tell people with this story is they can do it. Do not be only thinking about your things. So when I look at 2021 and all the challenges that we faced, we also think back before 2021. Before we can think about beyond 2021, we need to think about how was our past, how did we do, did we do well, or did we find that we could have done better. So this was things. Of course, this is always something which I speak about, an occasion for me where I had the occasion to meet up with the Right Honourable Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi. But this was something which I learned from my mother. Take the opportunities, find out where are areas we can actually go. So it's not a question of just meeting somebody very famous and tomorrow after that he may not be somebody who will remember you at all. But the occasion, the charisma, the chemistry, these are the things which actually carry us forward. So for me, it was an opportunity to be there, and it's an opportunity to tell others, you can do it. So this is how it helps me. So now what I do, and when I look at 2021, the challenges which were there, now what I do is I think about how I can help people. If I cannot help people, then I cannot help myself either. So I work on small and medium enterprises, helping them to improve their operations. Many people needed working capital. The 2020 and 2021 created an entire devastation for many businesses, the small and medium enterprises, etc. And there was a lot of fear, there was a lot of anxiety, and there were many threats which people came into, not only their health, their families' well-being, etc. But how can they overcome it? So now, in my own little way, we help people with their business planning, budgets, and how do they manage if they're going to go into something new. For example, the average professional may have found that he has lost his job. Now we help them to plan what are small businesses they can get into, e-commerce, etc. So for me, I find that it was a good pleasure, it was a good enjoyment working with them, and these are some of the other things which I do. But one thing which in the list of all of these things which I've been thinking about, I found that if you look at the last item in the last two words, succession planning, I found that this is an area which many people didn't think about in 2022. I want to help people with that. if you saw even business leaders, government leaders, etc., they never thought about who is going to come after them. So if we only think about ourselves and think about enriching ourselves, then I think we have given up one of the biggest opportunities to help people. So I think back for solutions of the future. I always think about how did things happen in the past. So these were areas in which we helped multicultural, multinational, cross-border. For example, this was a group which I helped a company which was almost going to go bust in Nigeria. And just by doing a needs analysis, we were able to help them out. You might be very surprised to find example in Malaysia, we had almost 1 million small and medium enterprises, and more than 30-40% of them have closed down. Imagine that. So how do we help them and speak with them, understand what are they needing, yeah. So I think this is one of things which is not only in Malaysia, and I found that beyond Malaysia, we come into contact with many organizations, many individuals, and they all have problems. So we can find our own way to teach them a little bit and help them solve their little problems. So I find that if we help them in their little way, I think we will become happier ourselves too. So this was one of the things which I thought I wanted to share with you and see how we help them.
Great. And in the time of crisis, if you are bringing such solutions where they are going to gain the benefits of profit increase, growth fund release, then process streamlining and cost reduction, disaster mitigation, and then wealth management, creative solutions, what else we need? I think this is the golden opportunity for all the viewers. And Mr. Nara, really this is the need of the hour, that the people like you who have taken the initiative of helping the individuals, helping the companies, helping the startups, how to cope up in the time of crisis and how to they can regain their glory. So thank you very much, especially when you mentioned about the succession management. This is really something I think that this is missing in our companies and in our even institutions. You know, the one who is in the leadership position thinks that he is going to remain forever in that position, and we hardly realize that what will happen after us, even if it is the family business or even if it is organizational setups, whatever it is. Thank you very much.
Very true, very true. And I think that's one of the most important things that we will need to contribute for the propagation of, not only our own family or others around us. The environment must find a way to continue and grow. And so one of the things which I decided for 2022 was make a list of more and less. And in the question of the more and less, I found that this is something which probably we all think, every year when we come out with new resolutions and how are we going to help each other. And so I think more and less is, I look at different things, like for example, how do we help others? What's a better way to keep ourselves more healthy when we look at wellness, for example, and spirituality or prayer and growth, exercise, food. So it's our personal well-being, our family and friends' well-being, and our environment. So the list of more or less is which of these we want to do more and which of these we want to do less. So for me, it will be a continuous process of that. And so I wish that we all should help each other more. And just like how you are doing with your various programs, impacting thousands of people. Just as you are a role model for many others, I wish we should all find a little way to be a good role model for somebody else.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nara, and I'm really impressed by your more and less concept, what we have to do more and what we have to do less. That's really one thing. what I decided for 2022 is that I am going to be as original as I am. Yes, no
Wonderful.
exaggeration, no makeover, no showing off. This
Very
is
good.
what I am, and I'm trying to be better every day. I'm improving my
Wow.
skills, I'm improving my quality so that I can be the better version of myself.
Oh,
Uh,
that's wonderful. That's really wonderful. I think
thank you.
it's a very, very strong and that's something very unique, I would say. It's something very strong concept that you actually have. Yeah.
Thank you.
Authenticity,
Yeah.
originality, and being true to ourselves. I think that's wonderful. Very nice.
Because by the end of the day, we have to just satisfy ourselves, no one else in the world. Who bothers that how many assets I have? Who bothers that what I have in my bank? Who bothers that what I am wearing and what I'm eating and what I'm doing during the day?
Yes.
What bother for others? It's only the things we are giving to them. If we are
Yes.
impacting them, their lives, then naturally they are going to remember us.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, why you have now given me some thoughts as well, just like how you mentioned that. I wish I should also add that to my list. I'm certainly going to add that also to my list about being the original, be our self, be our authentic self. And once we do that, I'm very sure that it will also give us a feeling of goodness. We feel good, we feel strong, and we feel much more encouraged to overcome.
Very true. So thank you, Mr. Nara. Now, one thing that you couldn't do during 2021 and you wished badly to do in 2022. What exactly is that? One thing.
Um, One thing which I wanted to do and which I couldn't do in 2021, if I look at various resolutions which I made at the beginning of 2021, of course, was to have financial freedom, much more, dollars in the bank. Perhaps that was something which maybe was the biggest impact, I would say. And then, as I found, as I went along the whole of 2021, I found that yes, that was something which I really wanted to do, and I found that it was not happening. And as the days went by, I was thinking it's probably not going to happen. Um, so, towards the end of the year, I come to realize that not every resolution can be met. Not every goal will be obtained, and we find a way to make do, be happy with what we have, and be contented. So I tell myself, don't be complacent. Just because you didn't get it doesn't mean you'll be complacent and say, oh yeah, this happened, that happened, and like a victimized mentality. So I say, be contented with what you have and grow from there. So there will always be the steps or the staircase. It will always be up as well as down. It will never be up. And so for 2022, I may have that goal again. And financial freedom is, of course, for ourselves, so also that we can help others. And so 2022, I say, let me go back with that goal. And so that is a goal which I will attain. And when I say more or less, then I definitely want to have more of that. And but maybe less stress. I will not stress so much that I didn't get it or I didn't do. So I'm still going to continue working on that, because sometimes it is one of the central goals that we have, because it's our personal well-being so that we can contribute to others. So that's something which I'm going to continue working on in 2022.
Great, great. Man proposes and God disposes. So
Yes.
if you couldn't make dollars in the bank because God wanted you to live a simple life and to be
Yes.
contented with less,
Yes.
that's very true, because 2021 was even before that also. 2020 and 2021, these 2 years
Correct.
has affected financially everyone. I think
Exactly.
almost
That's true.
except some companies that do have those like IT companies and maybe the online business companies. Amazon and other these type of
Yeah.
things, they have flourished, but mostly the people were affected. But I'm very happy that, when you have decided that, okay, whatever was you wanted and you didn't go, it was God's wish. So you forgot about that. What you have to carry along with you is a firm belief that yes, in 2022, I am going to be more satisfied. I'm going to focus more on the family, health, and of course, financial freedom as well.
True.
So thank you, Mr. Nara. JAHAN-E is grateful that you have spared your valuable time, and your discussing with you was really an awesome experience for me personally. And I believe that the viewers, those who are going to watch it, it's going to be beneficial for them. And my dear ladies and gentlemen, if you have any issues related to your business, related to your financial freedom, or related to any leadership issues, you are most welcome to contact Mr. Nara Subramaniam. Mr. Nara, do you have your contact details so that we can share with our viewers here?
Yes, I do. And is that something that I should send to you, or should I just type it out something here?
Yeah, if you can just type in one slide so that we can show that slide.
Okay, right.
So ladies and gentlemen, we were discussing with Mr. Nara how was year 2021 and what is his resolution for 2022. A leader like Mr. Nara is really an asset for us, for the global community. The way he has groomed himself, the way he has led a successful life, today he is in the position of helping millions, and that he is doing. What I need is, because especially the youth, I request that we have to make the best use, and we have to we have to try to take out the pulse of wisdom from the people who are experienced and who have led a successful life, who are role models for us. So I urge everybody, each one of you, to kindly go through Mr. Nara's life journey and contact him if you need any sort of help and support.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Anima. It was really a wonderful opportunity, and it was indeed my pleasure as well. With the interesting interview as well as interesting questions that you asked, you actually made it also thought-provoking for me. So yes, I would be very happy and interested to help anyone else in any way that's possible for me, and share my experiences as well as my thoughts. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. God bless.